Hey, what's going on, Will? This is Scott Beatty with the Sanders team. We had a phone conversation yesterday on Friday regarding selling your property at 565 Providence Place Southwest in the great peach state of Georgia. I wanted to shoot you this video as basically an explanation of everything that I'll be sending to you. As mentioned on the phone call, yes, we do sign everything via digital signing. If not DocuSign, it'll be .loop. It will be something that I send through my Remind document. So everything will be time stamped. Everything will be official. It's standard in our practice, especially in this COVID-19. So there won't be ever an issue with getting paperwork to you. Everything is tracked. Everything is monitored. Everything is time stamped. Anytime that I edit any type of paperwork, just to give you a heads up, signatures get automatically deleted. So if I ever need you to sign something else after I've edited something, it's basically going to be because of that reason. All right. So the very first thing that puts me to work for you is our basic listing agreement. It's basically an agreement, an employment agreement saying that I work for you. The great state of Georgia, it's mandatory to have this. The law prohibits me saying I'm your agent or working for you without this written agreement between us, just to keep everything, all the I's dotted and T's crossed. So this paperwork is saying that my name is Scott. I am working for Will to help them sell this property right here. All right, so A goes over the property. We have the tax parcel ID number. We have the legal description. If you're like, hey, Scott, where did you get this legal description from? Public records, Fulton County. We know that you purchased this property in 2014, 112 bucks. Then right here, the deed book page. So this is where they go to reference what property they're talking about whenever a buyer comes to purchase the property. All right, so there's that. We check that mark off. The listing period, we can change this at any point in time. I just put at June 1st to give us some time to do it. But if we want it to go, if everything works out, we can go live as early as next Wednesday, but I need to get in touch with your tenants before I do any of that. I need to have this document signed though, so I can get to work for you, but I need to get in touch with your tenants and then schedule everything. Of course, we need to shoot photography. We would need to shoot video. We would need to work it out with the tenants. So we can schedule it tomorrow if we want it to go live, but we need to make sure everything's done properly. And as far as the next section is the broker duty list price, we're going to start out $225. I'm sure you won't be mad if it sells for $225. The reason why I got this number is there's other properties in the area that are going for $225. We know that $215 is kind of where we'll ideally be selling at, hopefully a little bit higher since your property is in better condition than this one that sold. If it is still in the same condition as the list prices, but look at that. Yours looks a lot better than that one. So we're hoping for a little extra, a little on top of that one. So let's go back to this. So that's where 225 comes to play. The main marketing places that we use for multiple listing services, we use the FMLS and the GAMLS. Georgia MLS covers the entire state of Georgia. FMLS covers our kind of area, our hyper local area. Commission, we went over this. We have 6%. I split that 6%. I give the buyer side of it 3% if a buyer agent brings us a buyer. We know that 98% of home buyers nowadays are working with an agent. So it'd be foolish of us to think that, we need to market to agents is what I'm saying. So that's where that comes into play. This protected period right here, this is basically saying if we go under contract with the buyer backs out, and then there's just a protection period for me for 30 days. However, this is an agreement. It's not a contract. You can say, Scott, I don't feel like working with you at any point in time. And Will, if you don't want to work with us, we don't want you to have to work with us. You understand? So this protection period is 30 days just because we have to put a number in there. But if you don't like what I'm doing at any point in time, please feel free to terminate. Give me a chance to make everything right, of course. But this is an agreement. It's not a contract. Don't let any agent ever tell you that the listing agreement is anything more than basically an employee agreement. I can terminate working with you. You can terminate with me. hands wash, no big deal, right? But this protection period is, let's just say that whenever the property goes under contract, if it's under contract for like a year without the buyer making a move of it, and we go past our actual listing agreement times, then I at least get 30 days to market the property and get it sold. But we won't have that issue. This property is going to sell. We will make sure it sells. We've never had to worry about that ever. Agency brokerages, the following are types of agencies not offered by a brokerage. We offer all types of agency. Go over this information. Are you going through a bankruptcy? Are you going through a divorce? Let me know. Is this going to be a short sale? Are you being foreclosed on? I left this stuff blank. If none of this pertains to you, don't fill it out. Don't worry about it. But this is information we will need to know, because it would hurt the actual sales of the property if we find out for it 2 days before close instead of 2 days before we actually go live. So make sure that you're not, read all these, make sure that you don't qualify for any of them. If not, then move through it. So that's everything that we fill out right there. It's basically the first page. Second page is a little bit, but the rest of this document, the listing agreement, is going to be an explanation of what all that stuff means, all the legal jargon. So of course, if this video doesn't make sense, go back and read the document. I always want our clients to be educated on the process. You know, go line from line, word by word. Make sure you're more educated than anybody else out there on this process. All right, so scrolling down. So all this is explaining it. These are the disclosures that I'm attaching to this form. The ABCs of agency, basically talking about what it means to have a realtor and agent on your side, meaning what is expected. You know, you read this, make sure I'm on my P's and Q's. Hold me accountable, but you know, it just talks about the difference of having a buyer's agent, having the difference between having a seller's agent. Also included a mold template, a mold pamphlet, just because mold is a thing, it exists. We call it the M word, but you know, mold is out there. Your property was not built before 1978, so we don't have to include the lead-based pamphlet. I included something about radon. Radon's a thing we need to worry about, so just read over it. Protect yourself when selling a house. Other information. Again, these disclosures are basically pamphlets that make you more educated than what you already are. That's it. If you already know it, reread it. Okay? And let's see, special stipulations. I did add this because we are shooting for the stars at $225. Homeowner agrees to lower price after 14 days from $225 to $215. We can do that gradually if you like, but I just want you to keep your mind right that $225 is going at a super high price. If we're not seeing, let's see, 3 to 4 showings every single week, if we're not getting at least one offer on the property, we're going to need to lower the price, because that is what dictates it. The price is what gets people interested. The pictures get people into the property, and then the home sells itself when they're inside of it. And since it's all just a numbers game, we want to make sure we're presenting the best, let's see, product that we have. Now that you're deciding to sell this property, it's no longer your rental property. It's now a product on a shelf at a store. And we need to make sure that we keep that in mind the entire process until we're at the closing table, signing the paperwork, you're getting money. All right, so this is where you would sign. Whenever you get this, it'll have a little red mark right here. You click it, it'll be a digital signature. That's my information. The next document included in this info is going to be affiliated arrangement disclosure statements. Basically, the people that we're partnered with, 10 times out of 10, the buyers, they dictate who we're going to close with, the closing attorney in the area. They fill out that form. We can always counter back. These are our preferred closing attorneys. So we do have our company has ownership in some of those companies, so you need to read over that if we do that. But it's just letting you know that we're partnered up with these people. We work really close with these folks. That's where you would sign right there. Let's see. And then also there's a wire fraud disclosure. Wire fraud's a thing. 2020, people are hacking email accounts. That's the thing. So it doesn't happen very often, but it has happened at least one time to where we have to have an disclosure, and we have to make sure you know about it. So read over this, make sure you know you're comfortable. We'll never ask for your password for anything. And then anytime you need to wire any funds or get funds wired to you, make sure you call whoever that is asking for that money. Make sure that they are who they say they are. So like, let's just say that you, like, for an example, we have the one of our affiliated vendors that we use, Pacific One. They send you an email saying, hey, Will, we're going to transfer the funds at these are the transfer instructions. You would want to call Pacific One to make sure that they're the actual people sending that email, confirm the numbers, send it. That's all. Just make sure that you're watching out for that. Again, doesn't happen a lot, but it has happened once, so we need to make sure that you know about it. The next thing is the ABC of agency. We've already gone over that. And then look, you can follow my pointer. So the mold and moisture of your home, the home buyer sellers for radon, the seller's property disclosure, and then the community. These will be sent on a separate email. So this is the seller property disclosure. So I'm going to want you to either print this out or fill it out online, but it's basically you telling me information about your property. What year was it constructed? We know that it's 2005 or 2004. I'll need to go back and look at it. Is it vacant? No. Go through, fill this out, print it out if you need to, scan it and send it back. But it's basically the property disclosure is you telling the world, this is what I know about it, but don't hold me to it. So it doesn't have to be exactly correct. So if approximate ages, so think of everything as estimate, approximately, and all that type of jargon. So if there's anything that you need to explain about why something was replaced, you would do it in these areas. But again, you won't be held accountable to this. This is just given to the best of your knowledge. This is what I know about the property. Hey, I haven't lived there. This is what I know about it. That's all you're saying. You would check what all you're going to leave, dishwasher, ice machine, stuff like that, fixtures. This is where you would sign it. All right, let's scroll to the next document, which is the community association form. Again, this is to the best of your knowledge. If you don't know about the community association, I can do a little bit more work on my end to dig deeper. Of course, I would need this exclusive listing agreement signed before I started doing hard work for you, but this would be no problem for me to fill out, find out all this information, who's in charge of the property, who's in charge of taking care of the HOA and all that. But this is basically, to the best of my knowledge, this is what I know about the community and what you're purchasing whenever you buy the property. Now, another thing that I'll be adding is the seller net sheet. So this will be a PDF form that you'll get with 3 different scenarios. I believe you mentioned you wanted to at least walk away with 75 grand. And you said it was you owed 97,000 and some change. Well, I wanted to, I made it 98 just because it might be 97 and some change. So be safe than sorry. So this is all 3 scenarios of if you wanted to walk away, the minimum that you would take for your property is 185, which I don't think is going to be a problem because we already saw one for 215 over here go pending. All right. And there's other ones in the area that have sold for what? We got 190, 185, 215. So, I mean, you're going to make your money on this that you want to make. I'm pumped. You should be pumped. But if you wanted to sell it for a little bit more, this is what 215 would look like. And if we get the highest of all high, this is what 225 looks like. Walking away with 113, walking away with 104, walking away with 75. All right. And that concludes everything. If you have any questions regarding this, please let me know. If you give me a phone call, shoot me a text, shoot me an email, but I will be emailing this to you before end of day. And have a blessed one. As soon as you sign this paperwork, I need the tenant's information to schedule times for me to go pop in with a camera crew or just schedule everything with them. But I would need the listing contract signed before we do anything. Have a good one. Give me a call. It's your friend in real estate, Scott B.